He wasn't lying. And not only was he not lying, he actually gave Genos information. And the information was supposedly accurate. Seemed accurate from what we read. So, is Drive Knight the bad guy?
The bad guy?
A bad guy?
Open the club.
Could be. I mean, I don't think this chapter did much to like further that agenda. At least not as what we've seen before. Because I think the most sus thing was him asking about Blast and all of that. I don't think anything in this chapter is more sus than that, or even like close to that. But I guess just his desire to go into the fight and try to like upgrade everything. I think that in itself is a little suspicious because I don't know, like to me it seems like all the heroes are fighting with everything they have to destroy these monsters. I understand he's different. His makeup is different. You know, he has to, this is how he gets better. And if he does get better, it's going to help him with hero work and help him defeat stronger monsters. But if you're going to a fight already just thinking, I need to capture the monster rather than kill it to save everybody, something's a little strange with that mindset to me.
Drive Knight with the energy. I mean, I don't know, man. Drive Knight, he's very suspicious. He be doing things to have a nigga like, hold on now. So
He's the imposter. Run.
I'm not sure.
You sure, bro? The niggas, he told the truth this time. Are you still suspicious, bro?
I mean, he be suspicious. I don't know.
So you a Suzuki type of nigga, huh?
Maybe just a little bit.
What's up, Sundown?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he was telling the truth, but I think even still, Drive Knight kind of draws suspicion to himself. Like, he knows that the things he said to Genos before. What was it? Was it right after Boros? Where he was like, hey, be careful of so-and-so. Who was it he was saying be careful of?
Metal Knight.
Metal Knight, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, but you're going to be clearer about that? And then the fact that, like, people didn't know where he was. He just turns up in Z City. Then he goes missing again. And that was because his energy was actually depleted. But we still don't know what he was doing in that time, whether he was just... Because it looks like he just went away with Nyan. And he was going to go and try and put him wherever he collects the samples or whatever. But I think... the character that he is. Did I say something wrong?
Collecting samples.
Oh man, I shouldn't have said it like that. But yeah, I mean, I think he draws suspicion to himself, and there's a good reason for that. So I still don't trust him. I still think there's something very off about him because we still don't really know what his intentions are, who he serves. Really, those are all kind of hidden. We don't know if he's actually part. Well, we don't know if he's loyal to the Hero Association. All we know is that he has his own agenda and he'll do what he needs to get to his goals, not the goals of the Hero Association. And even in this chapter, when he juices all that power from that city, how many people do you reckon he was responsible for? Probably like in hospitals and stuff like that, probably dying. And he's just like, yeah. He's just there like, yeah, so long as I can get some sample from Sairochi, then I'm all good. It doesn't matter how many other people died.
I ain't even thinking about that shit. The hundreds, if not thousands, of innocent civilians who are now cold. Out. Remember, it was a tsunami. So, you know, a cold front's probably following that bitch, bro. A cold front's probably in front of that bitch. You never know the climate dynamics of catastrophes like this. But the earth moved up, bitch. Like that's like and we already saw like I think it was in this chapter or last chapter there was a little girl with a baby in her hands underneath rubble. I think that tank top saved. Like Yes, I was right. There are innocent civilians here, and I'm glad to see it. You know, the innocent have to be put in peril in order for there to be actual stakes, or for it to actually be worth it. We have to assume the death of many. That's why the assault that Boros did on ACD was spectacular, because he massacred millions upon millions of people in an instant. My nigga, Boros is as bad as the people who I don't want to say their names, because we're probably getting demonetized for that too.
Thanos, you don't get demonetized for that, brother.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Disney coming after you.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanos. Yeah. So, great job putting innocent civilians and mentioning that sundown. Like 100. Like, I hope thousands of niggas end up dying because of this power absorption thing. I hope.
Why?
Because then it'll build some more character for Drive Night. He's not only.
I want to.
Okay.
I want to say this. Like we were talking about, like Keisha was talking about, like how usually series like this the enemy progressively gets stronger and whatnot. And you were talking about like how One Punch Man deviates from that norm, I guess you could say. I think that's one way that it can break from that norm, by using civilians. Like we've seen this plenty of times where heroes or whatever have been nerfed because of the objective. The objective is to save people. So even if they're stronger than someone, the enemy is able to get an upper hand on them. So like using civilians is one way to not necessarily have progressively stronger villains. They could just be more crafty or whatever.
It controls the situation.
Yeah.
I didn't think about the whole effect on the civilians. If there's even how many there are, we really don't know. I mean, some
hundreds of thousands.
Well, I mean, but evacuation procedures, especially after the tower came out of the ground, like that. So we can't really be for certain to how many were affected, but any number of citizens that might have still been there, having their dinner that night or whatever, though I don't think I'd be anywhere near any of this shit if I could.
Or doing laundry.
In the hospital, whatever.
Or cooking.
Anything from a slight inconvenience of shit, I can't charge my phone, to, oh my god, grandpa on the ventilator is about to die because the hospital doesn't have backup generators because they got drained too.
And there were thousands of niggas that died that way. Thousands of niggas.
So it's there's a spectrum of effects that his big power drain could have done. Regardless of if it actually affected anyone or not, it can affect someone in the future, But yeah,
you can overheat inductors, bro. That was a lot of energy he was pulling. Like, if there's anybody that was around those lines or power lines or power tube or whatever it is, it probably died from the shock of that. He lit up a lot.
Well, he's just pulling the power itself. I don't think anyone would have been underground necessarily at that point in time.
What do you mean the ground came up? Why would there not be niggas under the ground when the ground came up?
But you know what I mean. Near the main power line that he was attaching himself to drain.
We can only hope. Is that a hospital right there?
I don't know. How the hell will we know? Half the buildings we can see are busted and shit. But anyway, so yeah, there's some big time effects that may affect in the future. Hell, what if the Z branch went down of the Hero Association? They're like, wait, the emergency lights didn't even come on. What the hell? So that might not give him any brownie points if he comes out victorious in this. But yeah. What he has planned and everything, he is the dark horse. We don't know his origins to what his real objectives are, who he works for, as it's been stated. It's when it comes to Drive Night, he's awesome as hell, but he's also sussed as hell. So we just have to wait and see how things go.
like I said before, I think he's too sus, and the fact that he's actually like coming through just makes me think that we're purposely being misled. So this is my opinion for now. Like, obviously, like the whole questioning about Blast is still high up on the priority for suspicion. His inaction in the face of G5 when second guard and the rest of the heroes were at risk is also extremely suspicious. But like I said, he gave Genos accurate information. He gave the association accurate information. He's coming here to save or to assist. We saw his interior dialogue as well. Like, I'm not seeing it right now.